That being said, that is part of the mission of Alzheimer's and Love, is to figure out what may be causing this problem and help to solve it. In the meantime, we have to deal with this situation and protect ourselves and our family and care for our loved ones. So we have created a webinar along with a booklet to come with it to help you deal with these problems. And I'm going to tell you now what the webinar will go over and why it's extremely important that you find out the information in this webinar, because you're going to want to know, number one, understanding the disease somewhat, especially if someone is just getting dementia. Like I say, we're in our 5th year now. Our mother was extremely healthy going into this. And then all of a sudden, she came down with dementia, and it doesn't seem to make any sense for someone that was so, in fact, she was super healthy, not a drug, not a thing going on, going into her 70s, and all of a sudden, boom, this comes over her. So, hello there. I want to say thank you, first of all, to all of you who have gotten involved with Alzheimer's and Love and helped out and also got information that will help you and your loved one and protect your family from the events of Alzheimer's and the progression from dementia into Alzheimer's. There are so many things that go on. And I want to say personally, from my own heart, I believe that this disease now, after dealing with it from my mother 5 years ago, going from dementia into Alzheimer's and studying the things that exist and the lack of help from either government or state organizations and from the government and what seems to be cover-ups when it comes to this disease. It virtually did not exist years ago, and now it's becoming one of the leading causes of death. And it is harming so many families financially, emotionally. And that being said, that is part of the mission of Alzheimer's and Love, is to figure out what may be causing this problem and help to solve it. In the meantime, we have to deal with this situation and protect ourselves and our family and care for our loved ones. So we have created a webinar along with a booklet to come with it to help you deal with these problems. And I'm going to tell you now what the webinar will go over and why it's extremely important that you find out the information in this webinar, because you're going to want to know, number one, understanding the disease somewhat, especially if someone is just getting dementia. Like I say, we're in our 5th year now. Our mother was extremely healthy going into this. And then all of a sudden, she came down with dementia, and it doesn't seem to make any sense for someone that was so, in fact, she was super healthy, not a drug, not a thing going on, going into her 70s, and all of a sudden, boom, this comes over her. So you're going to want to know how this disease can progress and understand how to deal with it. So the second thing, you're going to have to figure out home care versus having a facility and the pluses and minuses of doing that. We went through all of these, and it was about the time that the pandemic was launched, and we had to make quite a lot of decisions, and we made the right decision of not putting our mother in a home. And you're going to want to know, about this, because I think it will help you, right? It will help you to know what you might face. And then the third one is very important as well, especially in the dementias. In Alzheimer's, not so much, but the dementia stages, you're going to want to know how to prevent scams and financial abuse, even coming from your own family. So I think you're going to find that very important too, right? You're going to want to know how to protect, because the things you never thought of and stuff that people can think of, what I call kind of evil, but once they know someone isn't in their faculties, the phone calls will start happening, the visitations and all of that. So we'll go over that too in this webinar. So I think it will be very helpful to you. So there's also a lot of safety measures that are going to come up, perhaps some stuff you haven't thought of yet in dealing with, because you're in quite, if it's dementia stages and things are just starting to happen, you're in shock at first. And in fact, you may stay in shock for years. So we'll go over some safety measures that may protect your loved one from getting injured and a lot of stress on you. So you think that's going to be helpful? I think that's extremely helpful, because you're facing enough stress coming as it is. So the next one is legal and financial planning. In fact, we talked to an accountant who's had, they had a guy who's worth about $5 million develop dementia. By the time he passed away, He had nothing left. And so you're going to want some knowledge about the legal planning involved when you first initiate this, uh, taking care of someone and how to plan that. For me, it was me and my sister dealing with these issues. So if you think financial planning is going to be helpful for you, right? Uh, you might want to get and watch this webinar. So the next one is emotional support for the caregivers and how to make sure that you have coping strategies, support networks, and maybe even joining support groups is really important because you can find yourself all of a sudden with this social life or things that you're normally doing and things being drawn straight into this very secluded daily event of trying to dealing with this and being able to reach out, either through the computer or phone calls or meetings or something might be very helpful for you. I understand you are in some emotional trauma right now. My sister and I are still facing emotional trauma going on 5 years, and our mother is now 79 years old. She's going to be 80. It's hard for us to believe, but um, yeah. So the next one is dealing with their emotional behavior changes. And there's different stages, and these can be somewhat unsettling as they may start to forget who you are. It can take a long time, or it can be rather quickly. They can do stuff like not want to take a bath, have irrational thought processes about being able to go somewhere, whatever. I'll go over it in the webinar, but there's a tremendous amount of things that you're going to need some knowledge about that will help you face the situations. And I'm sure you're looking for answers, and it will help you. I do believe you're going to need some extra help. We wish we had someone tell us these things early on so we could prepare. It would have saved us tens of thousands of dollars in emotional planning and emotional heartache and things like that. So we know it's going to help you. So if you feel you need that kind of help, I would go do this webinar and save yourself a lot of time and heartache with stuff. The next is public interactions. In the early stages, you're probably still taking them places or helping them go places, especially in dementia, early Alzheimer's. They will say and do things quite irrationally. Our mother had a big thing with, she wanted to give away money to people. Of all things, she wanted to give children money. It didn't matter how much it was in her pocket, whether it's a $10 bill or a $100 bill. She was like, it didn't matter. It had no, it could have been a penny or $100. She would give it away if you weren't there. So, and she would say things may not be appropriate. You got to prepare and know how to deal with things in public, still wanting to have a social life with them and care for them. I think this will be very helpful for you as well. You're going to want to know how to deal with it. So the next one is, this is very important. I'm going to tell you this: alternative treatments and diet. You will get, so let me tell you about the help we got from from neuroscientists, neurologists, doctors. Here's how much help we got. Zero. Zero. That's how much help they are, other than perhaps a psychologist or somebody prescribing some antidepressants or something like that. Other than that, from the top down, whoever's making these decisions, and for whatever reason, the help for this disease progressing, someone wants it. This is my personal opinion. Someone wants this to progress and go on. And what they want you to do is participate in emotional support for each other only. They want you to, but they don't want you to find answers towards cures. When you go looking online for answers or cures, what you will get 90% of the time are these internet writings or articles, which you don't understand. You're looking for answers, and then you'll read them. They'll keep you captivated, trapped in this article, 10, 20 minutes reading it, only to get to the bottom and say, well, it's in these trial studies. We're hopeful for the end and all this. It's all horse crap. It's all, they don't intend to do anything. It's just to captivate you so that all the ads down the side of these blog posts, that's what they want you looking at. So these things are repeated and done, and they bombard all the pages of the internet with the same article over and over on different posts and different things. And it's all about giving you hope for the future, but not now. So I have 20 years of dietary and different information, and we're going to share some things with you about diet and eating, things that may help them. It's not a cure, but they may help them with the issues. And like I say, we are looking into, just like with one of the leading causes of death in America, It's funny that we found through different associations things that they use to cure it in animals, but humans is absolutely silent. So when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia, I believe the answers are out there. I believe you can find them if you look hard enough in alternative methods, because don't bother to look to the standard medical community. You're only going to get blog articles and false hope. That's what they want, to delay the process long enough where it becomes hopeless. So I encourage you to look into alternative methods. But we're going to go over some things that will really help with dietary things and stuff that the doctor will never tell you. You know why? Because it doesn't get trained in. In fact, they're completely ignorant of it. That's why they die. On average, doctors die 10 years younger than their patients, and that's from the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. The next is dealing with legal considerations, and I'm going to tell you, probably need to get an attorney if they have any assets, houses, and things like that. You want to, if they're going to definitely move from dementia into a problematic area like Alzheimer's, you're going to take everything out of their name, and you want to have estate planning, and you're going to want to have two different types of powers of attorney. So that's it for today. I know you're going to enjoy it. This will really help you. Don't you think this will help you? Go to the webinar and enjoy what you're going to watch. Save your family endless heartache, thousands and thousands of dollars in expenses, and prepare for this the best way you can. Join our mailing list so that we can keep you up to date to what's going on. Alzheimer's and Love. Go to the link below, join the webinar, make a donation, please, and we'll give you the booklet and also the information to help you along this journey that you didn't plan for in the beginning, but help you prepare and tell you about our 5-year journey. Thank you very much.